Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Landon. This video is going to be all about the Super Bowl, thoughts of how it's going to go, my prediction at the very end, all that. Before I start, though, I am a Patriots fan, so maybe you might think I'm a little biased, but I also thought the Patriots were going to lose to the Jaguars, and they surprised me very much so. I've also never done one of these videos before, so this should be interesting how this goes. So if you do like it, let me know down in the comments below. I'll put up these videos when something happens, like trades and stuff like that, if it interests you. But let's go on to the Super Bowl. Now, if you told me at the beginning of the season it was going to be Eagles versus Patriots in the Super Bowl, I would have called you crazy. I did think the Eagles were going to make the playoffs because they added all these weapons, Alshon Jeffrey, Blunt. They ended up getting Jay Ajayi. They signed Chris Long, all these players. So I guess it's realistic they were going to make the playoffs. I just never thought they were going to make the Super Bowl. I thought like it was going to be Packers versus Patriots, or maybe the Panthers were going to come out and do something again because they got Christian McCaffrey and all that. Even Seahawks Patriots again, I thought might happen. I thought the Falcons were going to fall off because they lost Kyle Shanahan. Then that big upset in the Super Bowl of the Patriots last year, which I love so much. So I never would have thought Eagles versus Patriots. So that did surprise me. And now if you told me it was going to be Eagles versus Patriots and Wentz wasn't even going to be playing in it, what would my thoughts be at the beginning of the season? And I would have said Patriots win easy. Because who is their backup? Oh, Nick Foles? Yeah, the Patriots aren't losing to the Eagles. Like, no way whatsoever. So when eventually the Eagles blew out the Vikings, which just surprised me so much, and then the Patriots barely got by the Jaguars, which that also, like, I thought the Jaguars were going to win. I just didn't, like, I was just so surprised that the Patriots came back down 10 in the fourth quarter. I guess I shouldn't be surprised at this point, but I still was. But as I look at it now, I don't see a way that the Eagles are going to be able to beat the Patriots unless maybe Gronk gets hurt again. And I don't really want to base how I think the game's going to go if people get hurt, because that could happen at all. Like the Eagles could not win if Nick Foles gets hurt, and I don't even know who their backup is. That'd be their third string. Like, just I don't like throwing that kind of stuff out there. So the only way I think the Eagles are going to be able to beat the Patriots is if they rush hard with, who do they have? Chris Long, Fletcher Cox, I forget their Brendan. Is it Brendan Graham? I think is his name. I have the whole team up right now. Corey. Yeah, Brendan Graham. Yeah, okay, I was right about that. I was gonna say that sounds right, but who knows? But they're gonna have to rush, get at Brady, because that's how the Giants beat the Patriots in 2007 and then 2012. So if they can do that and then just make sure that he's always on his ass and always like just rushing, even though it seems like he's gotten better over the years of doing that. He's like got rid of the ball like the quickest in the league or something like that. I don't know if that's still true, but I'm pretty sure it is. But my only other problem with that is that I've been listening all week to like sports radio and like First Take and Undisputed with Skip Bayless, some ESPN, some NFL Network, just a bunch of different sources coming in so I could like get all the information I could at the time and then like get my best prediction out there, my thoughts out there. I like talking to my friends about it during the week and all that. I guess their cornerbacks are really slow. So their cornerbacks are Malcolm Jenkins, and I believe Ronald Darby's one of them. I forget I don't know if Ronald Darby's their number 2. He might be, unless it's this Michael Kendricks. Okay, no, he's an outside linebacker. So yeah, Jenkins, Darby, there's probably another one. Is McLeod? I don't know if McLeod is. He might just be a safety. Yeah, he's a safety. So let's just say Jenkins, Darby. I guess they're just like the slowest in the league. So what I've been hearing is that Brandon Cooks, Philip Dorsett might be on the outside. This is just a prediction I'm just throwing out there. If you're doing like FanDuel or DraftKings, I just have a good feeling that Dorsett's going to do well. But I've been hearing that like they're going to go out for their route just like, and they're so much faster than their cornerbacks. They're going to go out, try to make like a fake out, and then if they fall for it, I hear they like to jump routes too. They like to anticipate the routes and jump the routes early and all that. If they try to do that and then they just take off, obviously Brandon Cooks can do that easy. I don't know exactly what Philip Dorsett's speed is or anything like that, so I don't know how quick he can just burn them. I know Brandon Cooks will be long gone if anybody goes. So there's that. And then I've also been hearing that the Eagles have trouble covering over the middle of the field. So that's pretty much right in the Patriots' wheelhouse. Gronk's going to be open over the middle of the field. He's obviously playing. He got out of the concussion protocol. Amendola, who's been having the playoffs of his life, especially against the Jaguars. I like Amendola, but I know he's like down on the chart who's going to play. Obviously, it's like usually Edelman's there. It'll be Edelman, Gronk, Cooks, Hogan, and then probably Amendola. After the running backs, too, you have to imagine. And then you also have the running backs who can get open. James White last year against the Falcons, he got open over the middle so much. 14 catches in the last Super Bowl, 3 touchdowns. Like, that's just crazy. I don't think that's going to happen again, but it could. I don't realistically think that's going to happen, like I said. But yeah, like I said, maybe it will. But I think Gronk, obviously, is going to go off. He's a monster. And I just don't know unless Nick Foles plays like he did against the Vikings. But my thoughts on the Vikings versus the Philadelphia Eagles game is that he just got a lot of long touchdowns. I don't know if I can actually pull that up right now while I talk. I'll try to. But like, I feel like all of his touchdowns are like, I don't want to say like, this conference. They were like 50 plus touchdowns or maybe 40 plus, just to be fair. Let's go to Game Center right here. Can I see the scoring drives? Is that a thing I can look up? I know I can. Just got to figure out how to do it. But yeah, there we analyze. That's what I'm looking for. Scoring summary. So Jeffrey had a 50-yard touchdown. Torrey Smith, 40-yard touchdown. I guess they only had 2, but that's just things the Patriots don't generally give up because they play, their defense is bend, don't break. So they'll give you yards. You can have yards all day. They're not worried about that even in the slightest, but they are not going to give up the 50, 60, 70-yard touchdown, even the 40-yard touchdown. They don't really give that up often. I know they did at the beginning of the year. Their defense was absolute garbage at the beginning of the year, but they've been stepping up just a lot. The Patriots, that's what they do. They have a bunch of like no-name guys that you never heard about in your life, and they start going off, playing amazing. And you're like, who are these people? And then they go somewhere else, sign for a big contract that they would never get in their life. And I think that's the only way the Eagles can win. If they just somehow, Nick Foles just bombs it to all these people, they get a bunch of 40, 50, 60-yard touchdowns. I just don't see that happening. And then they're going to need the perfect game, in my opinion, where their defenses go all over Brady, sacking him, making him throw bad passes, maybe an interception or 2, which that doesn't really happen often. I know Brady did against the Falcons last year in the Super Bowl, so that's going to have to happen, which I could see them rushing him, getting him on his ass a few times, but he's going to put up points. And then the Eagles are going to need Nick Foles to go off. Like, you're not going to have Jay Ajayi, you're not going to have LeGarrette Blount going off, scoring all these kinds of touchdowns. The Patriots don't lose to running backs often. Like, the last time I can think of was maybe Ray Rice, and that's a big maybe, and I don't even remember what year that was. It might have been like 2013 or maybe 2011, something like that, like a long-ass time ago, and I just don't see that happening again. And like, once again, there's also a stat out there where Bill Belichick is 15-0 in the playoffs against teams that he didn't play in the regular season. So say he played at say he played the Saints. The Saints beat the Vikings that week on that bullshit catch, and then the Saints beat the Eagles, and then they're in the Super Bowl. They'd have a lesser chance because they already played the Saints this season. So they're 15-0 against teams they haven't played, and I just can't imagine. Maybe I'm going to be surprised tomorrow. Who the hell knows? I will be live tweeting about it at Real Steve Lane. That's down in the description below if that interests you at all, if you want to follow me on Twitter or anything like that. I can't imagine Bill Belichick and Tom Brady losing to a quarterback like Nick Foles. If it was Carson Wentz, completely different story. I could see Carson Wentz lighting the Patriots up, having a big, high-scoring game. But I feel like the Patriots are just going to confuse Nick Foles. He's not going to know what the hell's going on. He's going to throw like an interception or 2 or maybe a fumble, something like that. And even if they go off to a big lead at the end of the game, like they need a coach like Doug Peterson who might be able to do it. Maybe Doug Peterson is the guy who he'll just keep his foot on the pedal and just keep pounding. Because the thing the Jaguars did, the things the Falcons did is they gave up. They got in the lead and then they just played dumb. It seemed like their coach was afraid, especially the Jaguars. That coach, he didn't trust Blake Bortles at all, which I can't really blame him. He just had no faith. He just ran with Leonard Fournette. And it just like, he just kind of threw that game away. And then it seemed like in the Falcons game, they could have just ran the ball a bunch of times and that would have been that. And it's just like, I don't really understand what they were doing. So they are going to have to play perfectly, in my opinion. I think Brady's going to have 3 touchdowns, maybe one or 2 to Gronk. Then maybe like 1 big one to Cooks or something like that. Maybe it's 4 touchdowns. Maybe it'll one to like James White or Rex Burkhead, Deion Lewis, something like that. I don't think they're really going to run for a touchdown because unless they get down to like the 1-yard line and then they'll just pound it in that way. Even Brady, maybe he'll sneak one in. Who really knows? But their defensive line's so good that I just can't imagine that'll happen because they have, like I said, Fletcher Cox, Chris Long, Brandon Graham, all these great defensive linemen that I just don't see that happening. And that's really the strong point of their defense, in my opinion, where their defensive line is going to have to be all over Brady, like I said. So at the end of the day, I think this is probably going to be my prediction right here. It's going to be like 35 Patriots, 14 Eagles in like the first blowout of the Patriots Super Bowl career, which they've never had one. I honestly, I knew that because I've watched them all, like all their wins and their losses, but like they've all been close games, like within 3 or something like that, or maybe within 4. I think what was the Seahawks one? Was that 28-24? It might have been. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Let's look that up real quick. Seahawks versus Patriots Super Bowl. I think it was 28-24, right? Yeah, 28-24. So maybe it's within 4 points or something like that. I don't know exactly. But I don't know how the Eagles are going to stop them and also put up a bunch of points. I could see one or the other. Maybe they stop them on offense and they only put up like 21. But at the same time, I don't think the Eagles are going to put up more than... If I had to put like a max number I thought the Eagles were going to put up, I'd say like 17 or 20, something along those lines. And I think the Patriots are easily going to put up 21-28 easy. Like, if not more, like I said, 35-14 is my prediction. And that's just going to be Brady's 6th Super Bowl. And I don't really understand. This is going to sound crazy too, because I'm a Patriots fan. You're like, oh, you're a Patriots fan. What do you know? You're biased. You're a homer, whatever you want to put on me. I don't get why people hate the Patriots. I get they win a lot. I understand that. I understand that if they had like 2 Super Bowls, like, oh, you don't want to see their 3rd. But who in their right mind doesn't want to see Tom Brady win a 6th Super Bowl? Like, that's just record-breaking. I know 5's record-breaking, technically. Actually, no, there's a guy with 5 Super Bowl rings, right? Isn't there a guy out there with 5 Super Bowl rings? Who has 5 Super Bowl rings? Is it Charles Haley? Okay, Charles Haley and Tom Brady have 5. So that'd be a record breaking right there. The first guy with 6 Super Bowl rings, which is just, I know you're going to say like, oh, the Patriots always win. Like, I'm sick of it, blah, 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 blah. And I get that. I do. But at the same time, it's interesting watching people break records. The year Barry Bonds broke 73 or got 73 home runs. Granted, I know he's on steroids and all that, but like, that was amazing. That was must watch TV whenever he got up into those higher numbers. Like, you wanted to be there and see him beat, was it Willie Mays? Let's go MLB home run records or totals, I guess. Hank Aaron. Okay, Hank Aaron. Why did I say Willie Mays? I knew Babe Ruth was up there, but I forgot if it was Hank Aaron or Willie Mays up there. But it's interesting watching people break records, and this is something that we're never going to see again in our life, realistically. You're never going to see it. In half of the seasons Brady's played in, he's been in the Super Bowl, and that's just so crazy. Like, you might hate Brady, you might hate Belichick, but you have to admit, that's fucking outrageous. That's the only way to put it. It's completely outrageous. And that's pretty, I've gotten all my thoughts out there. It's going to be 35-14. When I'm wrong, you can come back to this video or tweet at me or be like, whatever, and just be like, Lane, you're an idiot. And I understand that. You can come at me, say whatever you want. I could take it. I got anybody, if anybody in the world could take shit from people, it's me. Like, I give people shit, and my theory is if you give shit, you should be able to take it back, and I 100% can. So 35-14, but I would like to hear you guys' prediction down in the comments below. You don't have to leave me mean comments, Eagles fans. So they're like, oh, Eagles are going to win. Like, okay, maybe they are, but that's my prediction, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Patriots fan, even though you're probably going to say that. It's because just logically I'm looking at it, and I just don't get it. They would have to play the perfect game like the Giants did. And they had a David Tyree catch that had like an unbelievable catch along with their awesome defense in the first one, which that Tyree catch is absolute bullshit. I don't care what anybody says. The second one, the Mario Manningham catch, that was more skill. I'll give you that. That one wasn't as upset with. Like, that was a great play. Like, obviously they're like, oh, the bullshit catches that the Patriots lose with. Like, that was a fair one. I'll take that one. But I just don't see in a world like Nick Foles is no Eli Manning, and if you think he is, I obviously Eli Manning's not good anymore. I'll give you that. And a lot of the seasons, Eli Manning's not good, period. And okay, you're probably right there too. But Nick Foles isn't in that caliber, and I don't see a backup quarterback winning the Super Bowl. I was amazed when the Final Four was Brady, Blake Bortles, Case Keenum, and Nick Foles. 2 backups, and then a guy who probably shouldn't even be starting in the NFL. When he might not be after this season, they might get Kirk Cousins or something like that. But that is going to be it for this video. If you guys are just you search Super Bowl predictions and you like watching Madden videos, I upload Madden videos every day on my channel, 3 p.m. Eastern. So if that interests you at all, make sure to subscribe down below. Like I said already, let me know your thoughts on the game, who you think is going to win, all that. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.